Hello everyone and welcome to Fight Night Legends Top 3 Decks. In this series, we'll follow Fight Night Legends each and every single week. We'll look at top performing, most popular, as well as just decks to watch from the most recent Fight Night Legends. Before we get into the video, take a second to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all of our LOR content. Check out all the links in our description to find our social media pages. We've got a lot of folks working behind the scenes to keep the content flowing and to allow for our weekly Legends of Runeterra tournaments. Alright, now back to the video. Fight Night Legends is a 2-deck no-ban format. This allows players to build a lineup with whatever they believe to be the strongest deck without the fear of it getting banned. In this type of format, you may find players who build a lineup around one of their decks, where the second deck checks the weaknesses of the first, while other players may bring a more standard 2-solid deck lineup. This week, Fight Night Legends was taken down by BruisedbyGod, who took home the trophy playing They Who Endure and Swain Twisted Fate. Following just behind in second is Princess Powerful, with a wild lineup of Zombie Jinx and Fizz Elusives. Taking third place is Shu with Sea Monsters and Frostbite midrange. With our top placing players out of the way, let's take a look at the top performing decks on the day. And at number 3 this week is Sea Monsters. What was once a dominant force in the metagame, Sea Monsters has taken more of a boogeyman role in this format, being a force to be reckoned with, though often underrepresented in the tournament format. This week, Sea Monsters saw some pretty heavy representation, with 3 out of the 8 players bringing it, as well as finishing in third place in the hands of Show. Sea Monsters is somewhere between a mid-range and a control deck. It aims to quickly go through its deck so that it may enable Deep, ideally by around turn 7. Once Deep is online, the Sea Monsters player can flood the board with multiple low-cost Sea Monsters and quickly present a lethal clock. Sea Monsters is a Bilgewater-based deck, often going into Shadow Isles as its secondary region to gain access to more toss effects as well as healing. This helps Sea Monsters bridge its way into the late game, where its over-the-top win condition of big units go smash can take over the game. Though, when splashing for Shadow Isles, the deck will also gain access to Maokai, which acts as the deck's primary win condition in slower control-based matchups. Coming in at number 2, as well as in second place in Fight Night Legends, is Zombie Jinx. This is a new strategy promoted by second place finisher Princess Powerful. One thing to note, Princess Powerful creates his own metagame and is basically able to play whatever he pleases. This Zombie Jinx deck is proof of that, as he crushed Fight Night with it and another crazy deck. Zombie Jinx is an archetype that is built around the raw power of a resolved Jinx. This deck's curve is mostly low cost, being built of predominantly 1 and 2 cost units with a few bombs sprinkled in throughout the deck list. Zombie Jinx in many ways plays similar to They Who Endure. It possesses a strong early curve that can be used to grab the board early, though they differ when it comes to ending the game. While the deck is filled with lots of junky cards, the bombs scattered throughout the deck help it continue to find more gas throughout the game. Augmented Experimenter is both excellent for dumping your hand to level up Jinx, as well as being a key player when it comes to finding more endgame. Once Jinx dies, the Rekindler becomes one of your strongest win conditions. It will further flood the board while giving the Zombie Jinx player additional rockets, card draws, and further bringing them towards their burnout win condition. Placing at number 1 in this week's Fight Night Legends top 3 decks is Starlit Fizz. It wasn't the Zombie Jinx deck that was the talk of the tournament. This Starlit Fizz deck certainly is. Brought once again by our second place finisher Princess Powerful, Starlit Fizz is an aggressive deck built with one main game plan in mind. Stick a Starlit Seer and Fizz onto the board, then ride them to victory. The build we're featuring today of Starlit Fizz has been tuned very specifically, with specific choices that act as silver bullets for very specific matches or board states. Some examples of this would be the inclusion of 1x Flash Freeze, which hard counters They Who Endure, stopping them from attempting to set up a lethal in 1 turn at the end of the game. The inclusion of a single Omen Hawk may look strange, but it is still the deck's most powerful turn 1, and also gives the deck 7 cards to mulligan specifically for, being Starlit Seer, Fizz, and Omen Hawk. Starlit Fizz is a strange deck, akin to hexproof style decks from other CCGs. The deck is very hard to interact with for many of the most popular archetypes in the format. A Fizz backed up by a warning shot is nearly impossible to remove from the board and forces the opponent to take risks to remove Fizz even when they know it won't work. Between the handful of Fury of the North and the 1x Battle Fury, the deck is able to burst its opponent down while denying the opponent the ability to stop it from happening. And that is going to be it for our top 3 decks from Fight Night Legends. This week's Fight Night was an absolute wild ride. While BBG may have taken home the first place trophy, Princess Powerful took home our hearts with his wacky lineup this weekend, proving that you can have success playing just about anything in Runeterra as long as you know how to play the matchups. Have you played any Starlit Fizz or Zombie Jinx? Let us know in the comments below, and hey, if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with more GiantSlayerTV content.